The young boy from Jamaica, Troy, had always dreamed of being a great reggae superstar.
He felt the music deep within him, and it often took over his soul and made his body move uncontrollably.
Every time he'd listen to a beat, he was in awe of what it made him feel.
He knew that he wanted to one day be the star people looked up to when they heard those same beats.
In order to make his dream come true, Troy decided to start writing and composing his own lyrics to share with the world. At first, it was quite difficult for him, as he was so used to just listening to the music and wanting to recreate it. However, after practicing for weeks on end, he soon found himself being able to write beautiful melodies and meaningful words to match. Troy's family and friends were supportive of his goal, and they even helped him out by giving him tips and tricks to work on his music. After much practice, he finally decided to put his music out there and see what kind of support and feedback he could get. To do this, he signed up to perform at several talent shows around Jamaica in hopes of building up a fan base. Troy performed his songs right before sunset, and the atmosphere was electric. Everyone in the crowd was mesmerized by his flow and the message he sent through his lyrics. Not only that, but he impressed everyone with his clear vocals and catchy hooks. As he brought the show to an end, everyone stood up from their seats and cheered. It felt like he had just become a superstar. After the performance, Troy received so much positive feedback that he couldn't help but start believing in himself and his talents. The great thing about Jamaican culture was that he would be celebrated no matter which direction he chose to go in. Overnight, Troy became a local celebrity, and news of his stage performances began to spread throughout the Caribbean region. Soon enough, Troy's dreams of becoming a reggae superstar started to become a reality. He was invited to perform at a few major international festivals, and even had some famous award-winning reggae producers reach out to him. When everything began to take off, Troy recorded a few singles and released them. It didn't take long for the world to take notice of the new reggae star. With his newfound fame, Troy was offered gigs all over the world, rapping in London, performing in Jamaica, and even teaching classes in Hawaii. Everywhere he went, Troy stayed true to his roots, as he would always don his traditional Jamaican attire and share his inspirational words. He loved seeing how his music touched people from different walks of life, and it always reminded him that reggae music was meant to connect us all. Soon enough, Troy started to tour around the globe and build a name for himself in the music industry. Everywhere he went, crowds of enthusiastic fans would fill the arenas and cheer him on as he belted out his chart-topping tunes. During performances, Troy would always treat the audience to some traditional reggae covers, as it reminded him of his humble beginnings. In honor of his success, Troy was nominated for an International Reggae Award and ended up winning Best New Artist of the Year. The press coverage surrounding his victory was insane, and his face was plastered on every famous magazine cover. Being an icon to millions, he couldn't quite believe that all his hard work had paid off so quickly. It wasn't long until Troy got an invite to perform at the prestigious Grammy Music Awards. Although he was nervous, he knew he had to seize the opportunity and make his home country proud. As he took to the stage, the entire arena froze in amazement. Everyone was blown away by his powerful performance.
By the end of the night, he had won the hearts of everyone in the room.
Afterwards, Troy received multiple offers from international record labels wanting to sign him. He ended up going with Rock Nation, a well-known entertainment company, who gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. From then on, his journey to superstardom continued at a much faster pace. With his new record deal, Troy went into the studio, fine-tuning his tracks and creating albums of beautiful dancehall, soulful reggae and sweet lovers rock. Before long, he was blowing up radio stations worldwide with hit song after hit song, and each night his shows were packed with fans, looking to get down to the reggae grooves he was creating.
At this point, Troy was a full-blown reggae superstar, and he had a big team behind him to keep the momentum going strong.
His album releases and live shows kept gaining attention, and even bigger opportunities came his way. Soon enough, Troy was headlining some of the biggest venues across the world and taking part in some truly iconic musical moments. One particularly memorable moment for Troy came when he got to perform alongside Jamaica's beloved Bob Marley. This was an incredible experience for him, and it only made him want to reach higher heights with his music career. With each passing day, it seemed like he was getting closer and closer to becoming the global icon he'd always wished to be. Before long, Troy and his team decided it was time to go on a world tour. They planned out a series of shows in Jamaica, Europe, and the United States in order to reach his massive fan base. With an amazing production team behind him and a lineup of talented artists to perform with him, the tour was a guaranteed success. Everywhere Troy went, he was welcomed with open arms and huge roars from adoring fans. He would never forget the feeling of thousands of people singing along to his songs, or the energy of the parties that caused heads to bob and feet to tap in blissful harmony. What made these experiences even more special for him was being able to spread the message of love and togetherness through his music. Upon returning home, Troy surprised his hometown by throwing a free concert on the beach, inviting people from all corners of Jamaica to attend. This event ended up being the most attended performance of Troy's career, and even though the rain started pouring halfway through the set, people still danced and sang in harmony. Tin cans of beer were passed around as some of his most famous tracks blasted through the speakers. It was an unforgettable evening. When word got out that Troy had made such a big impact on his native island, famed magazine writers started to pour in and interview the young star. Knowing that he now had an opportunity to show the world exactly who he was, Troy started to actively change the narrative around the stereotypical portrayal of reggae stars. In addition to forming his own record label and releasing more hit singles, Troy embarked on a mission to use his platform to advocate for mental health awareness amongst the youth in both Jamaica and the rest of the world. There were also rumors going on about a line of apparel that he was creating especially for the female reggae stars of tomorrow. As his career continued to blossom, Troy kept growing as a person and as an artist, inspiring thousands of people along his journey. Now, having achieved his childhood dreams, the Reggae superstar looks forward to launching a new project which will inspire more music makers to follow their passions. Who knows where Troy's ambitions will take him next?